Let's take a couple of different examples of electric vehicles and just how much they would cost us through a salary sacrifice scheme. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, folks. JD here again. So the last few videos I've been talking about electric vehicles, my own Tesla Model 3, which I've recently taken delivery of, and also salary sacrifice car schemes and why they are so attractive for employers and employees wanting to get into the electric car vehicle market, and how attractive the savings are, certainly at the moment. You know, it probably will change down the line. Company car tax will go up. Car tax on electric vehicles will probably start to be added on. But at the moment, it is a really attractive way of leasing an electric car. So I'm going to take a few different examples, a few different salary examples, a few different tax situations, and show you the savings that can be made. So no affiliation with Lease Plan, but this is just a company which I've found. It enables you to get quotes for a variety of different electric vehicles, enables you to add maintenance on. Also, if you are an employer thinking of doing this, again, no affiliation with Lease Plan, but there is something which Lease Plan offer called Confident. And you can add that on. I'm not going to include that in these prices because it can skew things a little bit. But for a small payment that you add on to the monthly rental, you can be confident that if, say, your member of staff resigns or you need to make them redundant, you're not lumbered with a load of electric cars. And under certain, as long as you comply with the criteria, you can actually hand the car back. Anyway, so what I've done is using the Lease Plan site, I've obtained a few different quotes. So I've got a Tesla Model 3, an ID.4 Volkswagen, and a Smart for 2 EQ. The Smart for 2 EQ is on 6,000 miles a year. The other two are on 10,000 miles a year. The reason I've done that is because the Smart EQ has a very limited range, probably about 60 miles. So I thought we'd do that on a 6,000 mile lease. You can do it on what you want, but if, for this example, I've done it on 6,000 miles, 36 months, and these are effectively 35 plus 1. So 1 month deposit, 35 equal payments. So you could put a higher deposit in at the beginning, but I've assumed on all of these that you don't want an initial outlay, you just want 36 equal payments. Okay, so let's take, for example, the Smart for 2. So the Smart for 2 lot is coming out, this is on today's pricing, so that's the 26th of June 2021, on a 6,000 mile 35 plus 1 arrangement, a rental of £150 per month plus VAT. The reason I've done this on ex VAT is because you can claim back all the VAT on the maintenance and 50% on the rental. So the actual amount that your member of staff or as an employee you will salary sacrifice, I'm assuming in this case that we've got 50% of the VAT back on the rental element. So £150 plus VAT rental, £40 a month maintenance, and that's full maintenance and tyres, 15% VAT, which is 10% of £150 because you can claim the other half back. That gives a total salary sacrifice amount of £205. Okay, just to show that, if we go over to the Lease Plan site, let's find that car. So it was an electric Smart for 2. Let's just get the quote. So 36 months, 6,000 miles. There you go, £150 per month. Okay. The maintenance is £40 a month ex VAT. Okay, which is what I've put there. Look. So £40 rental. Sorry, for £150 rental, £40 maintenance, 10% VAT on the rental gives a total salary sacrifice amount of £205. So let's just nip over to the old EV spreadsheet, which is here. And as I always say, for a one-off payment of £10, you can get yourself a copy of this. So it's really useful if you want to kind of see if it's worth salary sacrificing or if it's worth, as an employer, you setting up a salary sacrifice scheme for your staff. Please do email me for a copy of the spreadsheet if you wish. So let's take an example. Let's take Standard tax code this year is 1257L, so that means for the first £12,570 a year, your member of staff or yourself will not pay any income tax. I'm going to assume that there's no pension because that can skew the results slightly depending on if the pension is taken pre or post the salary sacrifice. So I'm going to take that off. And let's say we've got a yearly salary of £25,000. Okay, so normally, no pension, etc., we would come out with a net pay of about £1,721. Okay, let's now salary sacrifice for the Smart for 2. So that was coming out on the spreadsheet with maintenance, etc., etc., of £205 a month. So we're going to pop into the spreadsheet 205 times 12, which is £2,460 a year, which means our new effective salary for tax and NI purposes is £22,540 because we've salary sacrificed £2,460. Now, the only thing to be aware of when you're getting kind of on the cusp of minimum wage or living wage, you can't salary sacrifice more than the minimum. How do I explain this? The salary that's left after you've salary sacrificed can't be less than the national living wage or the national minimum wage, which is £8.91 an hour for the living wage at the moment. Excuse me. So we are going to come out now after salary sacrificing the £205 a month for the smart car, a salary of £1,582.45, which means that car is actually only costing us £139.40 a month, which is a 32% saving. Now, a good rule of thumb, even if you don't want the spreadsheet, if you're a standard 20% taxpayer, you've got no pension to kind of, which can skew the results slightly. 32% is the saving you're going to make. Okay. Now, there is another saving that can be added on. If your employer is particularly generous, they could add on or pass on some or all of their company national insurance saving. So an employer will pay 13.8% national insurance as well as the employee paying national insurance. And it tells me here, look, that the company NI saving on that amount of salary sacrificed car payment, the employer is also going to save 13.8% of that a year, which per month is £28.29. So you could pass that on to the employee. Now, you can't pass on £28.29, that you've still got to put it through payroll, which means they're still going to pay tax and national insurance back on it. But this spreadsheet here, if I put in 100%, which basically means I want to pass on all of the company NI saving back onto the employee, that will now tell me that we're going to save 41.38%, and that car net to the employees is now only going to cost them £120.16 a month. The only other thing to bear in mind is that if you're an employer, you are going to pay company national insurance on the benefit in kind. So what's benefit in kind? So whenever you sacrifice a proportion of your salary for a benefit, there is benefit in kind tax to pay, or effectively in this case, company car tax. How do we work that out? Well, again, the reason why salary sacrificing an electric vehicle at the moment is so attractive is because for this tax year, 21-22, it's only 1% of the P11D value, and for next year and up to tax year 24-25, it's only 2%. Some cars are 30% plus, so it's a massive saving on company car tax as well. Last year, it was 0%. How do we work out what company car tax we're going to pay then? So you take the P11D value of the vehicle, which is effectively the purchase price. So I don't know, on a smart car, let's say it's 22 grand. And on the spreadsheet, we can choose the benefit in kind percentage. So let's assume it's this tax year. So that's 1%. So the benefit in kind value is £220 a year. That £220 then comes off your tax code. So if you're a 20% taxpayer, you're going to pay £44 a year in company car tax. 20% of £220. This spreadsheet will do it all for you, and you can see it's adjusted the tax code to 1235L, which is effectively 1257 less the £220 company car tax, benefit in kind, you get 1235L. So the new, if we are going to pass on 100% of our company NI, is a 39.6% saving, £123.83 that car's going to cost us. Next year, it's going to be 2% company car tax. It's going to bring it to 127.50. The only other thing to bear in mind, as I said earlier, is that there's going to be a small amount of company NI to pay, and that company NI is going to also be based on the benefit in kind. So this year it's going to be 13.8% of £220, which is £30.36. Divide that by 12. So about £2.53. So again, as an employee, you might want to, if you are generous enough to pass on the company NI saving, you'd want to account for that £2.53 as well. So really cheap. Let's take another example. So now let's take the ID.4. So the ID.4, 36 months, 10,000 miles, had a rental on the lease plan site today of £541 per month plus VAT, and a maintenance of £48 a month plus VAT. So when we take that, we take the maintenance, we take the 10% rebate, 10% VAT rebate onto the rental, which is £54.10. We come out with a salary sacrifice amount of £643.10. So again, let's have a slightly higher salary, £40,000 a year. And we're going to put that amount in for the ID.4, which is 643.10. So equals 643.10 times 12. So our new taxable salary is 32,282.80. Get rid of the benefit in kind for now. That car, assuming no company NI is passed on, 32% saving again, 437.31. Benefit in kind, I don't know, on the ID.4, let's doesn't really matter, let's say it's 35 grand. So that's going to bring our tax code down to 1222L. So a saving of 31.09%, 443.14 net. If you wanted to pass on the company NI saving, makes it 382.79. £40.48 plus a little bit of company NI, so it's going to be £350 times 0.138 divided by 12, about £4 a month. Okay. And the last example was a Tesla Model 3, 36 months. That was the standard range, 10,000 miles, is 628.10. So 628.10. So equals 628.10 times 12. P11D value on one of those about 42,000. 434.11. All in for a Tesla Model 3 standard range, fully maintained, 10,000 miles a year. Now, watch this. This is one of the advantages of being a higher earner, because if you're in the 40% band, you obviously save even more. So let's say you're lucky enough to earn, I don't know, 60 grand a year. Look what happens now on the saving. It's now gone up to 39.77%. If you're even further into the 40% band, so if you earn, say, 65 grand a year, it's I do believe, yes, if we just take the, if we take the P11D off, look, it becomes a 42% saving if you're in the 40% band. If your company decides to pass on the company NI as well, 50% saving. So with a little bit of benefit in kind tax, let's say 42 grand this year, it's going to be 20% of, so it's going to be 40% of 420 quid, which is about £160, £328 and 2p. So if you're well into the 40% band, you could effectively lease a fully maintained Tesla Model 3 standard range for about £328 a month. if your company was generous and passed on their £86 a month company NI saving. If they chose to pass on half of it, it still only costs you 353 quid. So you can see there's some massive savings to be had. Certainly if you're a 40% taxpayer, but even so if you're a standard taxpayer, the thing to bear in mind is you can't sacrifice more than the minimum wage left. So if if you're earning 20 grand a year, what's the living wage at the moment? If you're over 25, it's £8.91 an hour. So let's say you work a 40-hour week. Basically, you can't sacrifice more than, I can't explain this, you can't sacrifice more than an amount which would leave less than £18,500 in your salary, if you see what I mean. Okay. I hope that was useful as usual. Please do comment and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Please do email me here if you'd like a copy of that salary sacrifice spreadsheet, or if you'd like a copy of the PCP spreadsheet, which enables you to compare different deals, enables you to work out your settlement and your voluntary termination point, etc. Do send me an email for a one-off payment of £10. You'll get as many updates as I care to make, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.